Hello, my lovelies. It is time for another reading vlog, so stay tuned. So today I just realized that I hadn't started this vlog, but I really hadn't gotten a lot of reading done. So I think Monday and Tuesday, as far as like reading time, I would have gotten done when I was doing like the crafty stuff. I was having to watch like YouTube videos to help me with learning how to do the craft. I literally spent all that time trying to learn how to do these certain stitches in crochet so I could finally start the project. And once I finally started the project, I was like, this is impossible. This is not something for a beginner. So I gave up. And I started doing one of the embroidery projects that I brought along. I just started it a little bit yesterday, and I've done it more today. And I've been able to listen to the Library of Lost Things. I just finished it, and I talked about what was going on in this in my last vlog, but I can do a little recap. So our main character, Darcy, has been living with her mother all her life. Her father left when before he even knew her mother was pregnant, and Darcy's been dealing with her mother being a hoarder, and it's kind of out of control hoarding, and she's afraid to let anybody see inside her house. You know, the only person who's ever been in her house is her very best friend Marisol, and everybody else she's desperate to keep out of there. But it's almost time for their lease to renew, and she's trying to keep the manager from like having to come in, and she knows that time's coming, and they could get kicked out. And also Darcy is 17, and she's anxiously awaiting her 18th birthday, because up until that point, if anybody sees inside her house, CPS could be called and she could be taken away from her mom, and she doesn't want that. And her grandmother had finally cut ties with her mom because she just couldn't do it anymore, and has been trying to convince Darcy to move in with her. But Darcy doesn't want to feel like she's just another person that has abandoned her mom. She thinks that the hoarding is because of her father leaving, and so he's left her mother's left her, and so she doesn't want to abandon her too. And her grandmother says, okay, well, once you turn 18, because her grandmother's been kind of financially supporting Darcy because her mom spends way too much on all this shopping stuff, and there's not always, food that she needs to eat or bills that need to be paid. And so Darcy's grandmother has been helping with that, and her grandmother's finally like, okay, well, if you don't want to move in with me, that's fine, but once you turn 18, if you choose to stay living with your mom, you're an adult, I'm going to have to stop paying. And so Darcy is trying to figure out ways that she can make extra money, and decides to start trying to sneakily sell some of this stuff on eBay to help make ends meet. So also there's Asher Fleet, and he graduated the year before Darcy, and he was going to go to Arlington Military Academy, but he had a terrible car accident which destroyed his legs and gave him all kinds of medical issues, and because of that he can't fly, and that's like his true passion. Everyone in his family knows how to fly, and that's why he can't go to the military academy. He's never going to be able to fly commercially, and at this point in time he can't fly for pleasure either, until he has a certain amount of time where he doesn't have any of the migraines or dizzy spells or whatever, and he hasn't gotten to that point. So he's struggling with that. Him and Darcy end up forming this friendship, which kind of blossoms into something else. But the problem is she is very ashamed of her house and afraid of letting people too close because of this. And will she let him in? It was cute. I enjoyed it. I loved all of the bookish references. And yeah, I think I'm going to give this one 3.75. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I would read it again, so I don't think I need to physically still own this book, but I did very much enjoy it. And as far as the craft I switched to trying to do this embroidery, and this is what it's looking like right now. It's taking a long time, but it's something that I don't really have to think about. It's surprisingly super easy. I thought it was going to be more difficult. So I can listen to the book while doing this. Though we are on a cruise ship and we're having fun doing excursions and all kinds of stuff. And I'm not having a whole lot of time to just sit and do this. Today, we actually went to this Lucha Libre Mexican wrestling, and it was so much fun. If you want to see all of my fun travel things, I have a channel that's specifically for that. You can go and check out. I'll link it up here. It's called My Grand Adventures. And yeah, eventually you'll see these videos on there. It may be a while, but you'll see them. But I just realized too that I'm missing karaoke, so I might need to go and do that. And I guess I'll just talk to you later.
We're going to continue walking downhill onto the far side. Just be really careful with those roots, please.
DJ, please. Easy, easy.
Viva Mexico!
¡Está bien ahí! Okay, Melanie. Wow! I love it. Woo! This gives me the chills.
So we're back home from our trip now, and I didn't end up listening to a whole lot more while I was on the ship or physically reading anything while I was on the ship. I did start Crier's War, and on the ship I think I only got to chapter 7 of that. That's kind of a slower read. At first I wasn't really feeling it because, I don't know, it didn't seem like my kind of book. But the further on I got, the more I was enjoying it. So I have it right here. In this world, it goes through like this long timeline in the very beginning, a very long timeline. Like this is all timeline stuff. And from here down to here is before the Automa era, and then after that is the Automa era. And what happened was somebody created AI, automatons, and they're kind of made of flesh as well, but they are stronger, faster, smarter, more beautiful, all of that stuff. And eventually, like originally, I think they were made to work as to be at workers or friends or whatever. And they ended up rebelling and taking over. And so now we're in a world run by these Automa, and the humans are the lesser than and the ones that are treated poorly and worked and all of that. And we go back and forth between Crier and what's the other girl's name? Ayla. And Ayla's human. Crier has been made. Crier is the heir to the Empire, and Ayla, her whole family has been killed by the Automa, and she's seeking revenge. And she's working in the castle as a servant and is trying to gather information. But also her goal was to get close to Crier or find a way to kill Crier to make Crier's father pay. I'm not too far into that at this point because since it is my Coffee Patron buddy read, I couldn't listen to it while I was driving because I have to be able to talk about it with them throughout. And so when it was time to drive home, I put on Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter, which is the sequel to Better Than the Movies. I finished that one. Actually, once I got home, I stayed up for a few hours continuing it because I wanted to finish it. And it was so freaking good. So this is set, I forget how many years after the first book. So in the first book, they're in high school and all that. And the happy couple in the end have gone off to college together, and that's where we are in this book. So right after their freshman year started, and these two are just madly in love. 2 weeks into the school year, his father dies, and he goes home for this funeral, and then he never returns back to UCLA, and he gives up baseball and everything. And then it's now 2 years past that point, and he's gotten his way back in. He's gone back to school. He's starting over as a freshman. And after he left the first time, he ended up breaking up with the girl of his dreams from the first book. And he wants nothing more than for them to reconnect. And he's trying to find her and figure out a way to get close to her. And for the past couple of years, she's gotten over the heartbreak of him breaking up with her and has moved on. And then he stumbles back in her life and kind of sends her world in an upheaval. And somehow through her college program, she's ended up as sort of the content creator for the different sporting events, mainly baseball. And of course, now her ex is there, and she kind of can't really avoid him, and he doesn't want her to. And there's a lot of going through all the emotions of this breakup and what happened to him and all of this. And she's really fighting the reconnecting with him, and he's really trying. One thing I really, really liked about this book was not only just the movie references throughout, but also the music references, because her major is a kind of a music major or a music business major. And throughout the book, she's referencing songs, and he does too occasionally, but she's referencing songs because what she wants to do is the soundtrack and stuff for movies. And so anytime anything comes up, she's always got a song in her head that kind of fits that. And then at the end of the book, we actually get the playlist of all of these songs. And I've listened to the playlist and I can like see the movie going through my head as I'm listening to the different songs. And it was a lot of fun. I'm going to give this book 5 stars. So yeah, we got home Sunday night, and then Monday, the only thing I really managed to get done was going and taking my car to get like an oil change and tires rotated and that kind of stuff. And that's not really fun for vlogging. And then I ended up going to sleep super, super early because I had to get up super early this morning. And I had to go to the doctor and get my foot checked out, and everything's looking good. Also, it turned out that the thing that was in my foot wasn't actually a tumor. I forget what they called it, but it was like a reactive something and not a tumor at all. But also they did like fully test it, and they sent it up to Boston and stuff. And it's all good. Everything's good. I'm happy about that. So today my plan is I've got filming to do. I've got to upload a video because my vlog from the week before, I edited it while I was on the cruise, but I have not uploaded it because I was on the ship and I couldn't do that. So I need to get that uploaded, so it will post tomorrow. So it'll already be up by the time you see this, obviously, because this is the next week. And then I also have to edit this vlog. So I'll probably go ahead and end this vlog here so I can go ahead and get it edited. And I'm going to be picking up a new vlog tomorrow, but that is my coffee patron exclusive vlog. So the next vlog you'll see will come later because my coffee vlog is going to go through Friday. And then we have the live shows on Saturday, which I'm very excited for. I think the live shows will happen before this video comes out. So if you haven't seen the live shows, like the author chat and all of that, I will link that up here for you to go and check out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!